Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily Tesla report for Tuesday, January 20th, 2026. Let's take a look at the chart. Start with this one, which I like to. This is the big picture, weekly bar chart going back several years, but we only have to go back several months to find this channel bottom at 404.82 that represents our, I'm going to call it long-term support into the second quarter. We do see it as in reach. It's not been clearly defined as an objective just yet, but we have leaned that way since about a month ago when we put out a new all-time high on the weekly chart. We closed negative that week. I call that a mini reversal. When you put out a new high and you close negative on the previous bar, whether that's in the daily chart or the weekly chart especially. And then the following Monday, we gapped below the previous week's low and continued south. So this is like an exhaustion gap to some extent that implies 404.82 as being an objective. And I say implies very deliberately. We don't have a clear-cut target there. I mean, you can play that, as I've been saying, but we don't have a clear-cut objective unless we also now close below a weekly channel bottom that I can show here. Sorry, a daily channel bottom at 436.39. So this structure has performed beautifully. And back in November, we'd mentioned how it could contain selling, on a monthly, possibly quarterly basis. And following a testing of this structure, we can round up to the 532.70 long-term resistance area within several months. Obviously, it didn't happen. We pushed to new all-time highs, took out that December high of 488.53, and then we collapsed back, as I've already said, then retesting rather, this channel bottom that today is at 436.39, and we are right there right now. And, I've been mentioning how you should allow for a violation of this channel bottom now following this exhaustion gap from 3 weeks ago below 473.82 that allows 404.82. And if we do, yes, close today below this 436.39 structure, we are then expecting, 404.82. I actually think we have this on the daily chart. Yes, we do. Now, the same, yeah. So if we close today below 436.39, this is a 1 to 2 week objective. With presently slightly reduced volatility, you could make this 2 to 3 weeks, but I think we'll see a heightened volatility with a settlement today below 436.39 that will have 402.81 in reach by the end of next week. So inside of a couple of weeks, 402.81, this is not an updated number, is really the same formation that we find on the weekly chart at 404.82. So still the low 400s, able to contain selling not only through February, but really into the second quarter. We can round up from here within 3 to 5 months of testing 404.82 to 532.70. What is 532.70 is the 6-year rising channel top that we've yet to test, that if tested may well contain buying through all of 26, and it remains in play. It remains in play by some point over the next 6 months, holding above 404.82. 404.82 expected within a week, 2 at the most, of closing today below 436.39. So that is the downside pretty well mapped out. Upside, it's almost needless to say that holding above 436.39 will keep this low 470s in reach over the next 2 to 3 weeks. And upside today, we're now using 448.96 as our upward pivot point through the rest of the week. 448.96, nothing more than the high settlement price that was put out about a week ago. It can contain intraday, possibly daily highs. We could trade inside the 436.39 to 448.96 area all day long. But if we close today above 448.96, we've got a good low for the week. And by the end of next week or sooner, I would expect the low 470s. 470.38 is an upside 5/8 Fibonacci over the last month's extremes. And 473.82 is once again that low of the all-time high. That would be a gap closer. This is a meaningful area to sell into, especially if you're taking profits on a long position you may be establishing presently at 436.39. We're keeping it light at 436.39 because of the significance of this down gap from several weeks ago. We are allowing 404.82 as an objective, as a 3 to 5 week target, I think we've been mentioning, and we're 3 weeks into it.
If you're looking for your daily Nvidia analysis, you can now find it at wickedstocks.com. where it's part of a full suite of daily analysis videos, including the Daily Spy Report and Daily Triple Q Report. Sign up now and get immediate access so you don't miss a single day.
And yes, if we close today below 436.39, that would then be within 1 to 2 weeks. This represents a solid go with sell signal for 1 to 2 week swing traders closing below 436.39. If you are presently long, if you've been bottom picking this area, this has been great as a 3 to 5 day swing trade. But if you've been buying this in anticipation of the 470s, just know that closing below 436.39 is your indication to bail out on that long position and consider reversing and playing the short side into the 402 to 404 handle over the next week or two. Finally, and we're not going to see it this week, but if we were to close below this channel bottom at 402.81, we enter a sell signal that is likely to play out well into the second quarter, the following 2 to 3 months then in reach of 318.86, which is an extreme channel bottom on the daily chart and weekly chart that may well contain selling into later year and round up from there. Is there anything else to say? Please click like, share, subscribe. Check out wickedstocks.com. We now offer a 2-week free trial. If you're looking for your daily Nvidia analysis, you will find it there. For 2 weeks, you can get that for free along with the daily Triple Q, the daily SPY, 2 weekly stock picks. You'll be able to get like 6 or at least 4 stock picks over the next 2 weeks, et cetera, et cetera. I'll be back tomorrow, of course, with Wednesday's Tesla. You have a great day.